Welcome back. Now on to 1990. 6 to 7 months after the movie, we finally received Super Mario Bros. 3 after a 2-year delay, introducing the 7 deadly Koopa kids. Ugh, these brats made a comeback earlier this year with New Super Mario Bros. On Nintendo Wii, and they are still a pain in the ass to this day. Roll call. Iggy Koopa, Larry Koopa, Lemmy Koopa, Wendy O. Koopa, Roy Koopa, Morton Koopa Jr., and the worst of them all, Ludwig von Koopa. Each kid was named after a famous musician that inspired Miyamoto, which, by the way, he is a wicked guitar player and a music composer if you didn't know. The most unique feature of this game was the power-ups. Mario literally went ballistic with the arsenal he was given.
Tanuki suits. That's all I gotta say. I'm out. Or however you pronounce it.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, okay, yeah, Tanuki suit. You could turn into a statue. That seems pretty lame, but it's actually pretty darn useful.
Which kind of did not imply the whole entire stoner thing, right?
No, it didn't. No, I just
like turning into a stone. You got mushrooms everywhere. I mean, something's got to give here.
That's true.
What about you, shrooms? Speaking of shrooms,
The frog.
yeah, the
Frog suit. Yeah, frog suit.
still holds the record for the fastest swimmer.
I still can't control it on land. In the water, it's so different for me. I just try not to use it. Yeah.
Yep.
And also, World 4, the giant level. That's just so cool.
Oh yeah, God, everything was just so massive. So
okay.
cool.
And World 5 as well, where you kind of can get lost.
Skyworld, yeah.
Skyworld.
That got confusing after a while.
It's very confusing.
If you didn't know that shortcut in the castle, yeah, you're boned.
Yep.
My favorite is actually World 6. It's the biggest. Next to Bowser's World and World 8. I think the Ice Zone had 10 levels?
Something like that, yeah. I never could beat it.
That blew my mind. My favorite thing to do is if I'm really bored, it's just master every single level. Because when I was a kid, I would not go to either 6 or 7. Just skip them with one of those little cloud power-ups that gave you the ability to skip a level.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say, screw this and just move on. But now I'm like, I could take this on and still get my ass handed to me. Let's see. Well, moving on to 1991, September 9th, 1991 to be exact, the Super Nintendo was released alongside Super Mario World, which introduced World to Yoshi, the faithful companion to Mario. Sure, Mega Man had Rush the dog, but how about a dinosaur with a frog's tongue and poops out an egg or a 1-up? Brilliant! Not to mention the Koopa kids came back to raise more hell. 16-bit of some serious business. It shows off the Super Nintendo's power as a pack-in game was genius.
I guess I'll go ahead and say a few of the things I really liked about Super Mario World, and the fact that the overworld has some neat things in it, such as secondary levels you can go to, like getting a key and getting a lock. He's already mentioned Yoshi. Yoshi's just cool. I mean, you can also consider him as like an extra hit, if you will, and you can also use him to jump really, really high. You can't really fly really far like you can with the cape with the feather with Yoshi, but it's okay. And he can really, really dole out the damage to a lot of the enemies. It's pretty useful to have. What do you think?
Shroom?
No comment.
No comment. Did you not play Super Mario World?
Look, my attack is attacking me right now. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I was gonna say.
understandable, good sir.
No,
Anyways.
I used to play Super Mario World on, or not Super, I used to play it at my buddy's house on his SNES, and I like the multiplayer in it. It was pretty fun, going and pushing the buttons and pissing the other guy off. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's fun, yeah.
That's classic right there.
What do you think, Mega?
My favorite thing was the ghost ships. They basically all the airships from Mario 3 that crashed land into the water, and you actually get to go through some of them. And
oh yeah,
that was pretty cool. And the ghost houses were just amazing to wander through.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got one thing to say about the ghost ship levels. The music, the BGM was amazing. I always loved it. To this day, I still hum it every now and then when I'm at work.
You know what? We should actually put that in here. During the break, we should put that in the middle.
Definitely.
Good idea.
Yeah, I love that song. Perfect. Anyway, Well, back on track. 1992, back in Japan, they discovered the USA had an exclusive Mario 2. The fans were jealous and demanded the game should be released. So it was released on the Famicom cart under the name Super Mario USA. Which was silly to name since many American ported games tend to get names like that. For example, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest on the Super Nintendo is called Final Fantasy USA in Japan, which is how the Japanese poke fun about originality like an episode of South Park does to the Asians.
So by saying Super Mario USA, they're saying this is Super Mario we released in USA and we kind of pulled the wool over their eyes. Look what we did to those silly Americans.
And this is how bad it was. It was in a pink cart, okay?
A pink cartridge.
Yeah. Do a Google image search on that one.
Oh my goodness.
That it's sad. It is depressing. And the funny thing is, the box art for the Japanese one is the exact same as Doki Doki Panic.
Like they didn't change any of the sprites or any of the thing?
All they did was change. They put Mario, Luigi, and Princess and Toadstool and Ward the frog, and that's it.
So you have a bunch of Japanese kids going over there going, "Hey, wait a minute, this is the same.
This guy's a phony.
This guy's phony. He's a big bad phony." So a lot of people bought Super Mario USA and was very disappointed in the fact that it was just a port of Doki Doki Panic with some Mario characters sprinkled on.
Yeah. The Mario 2 definitely was the weakest selling game out of all the series. But the funny thing is, kids of '88 who finally got a Nintendo, we just loved the hell out of it, but we were not aware. Mario 3 pretty much erased that memory.
Oh yeah. Kind of Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers 2, what? I don't remember that game.
Exactly. Well, moving on to 1993, The Clarity of Truth. Super Mario Collection / Super Mario All-Stars in America was released in Japan and USA on the same summer on the Super Nintendo. Nintendo finally confessed what they have done for the period of 8 years with the Mario series and reintroduced the mysterious real Super Mario Bros. 2 under the name Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, which did create the basis of this entire show. The game rewarded hardcore players who did not use warp zones a brand new and entirely bizarre World 9. If that's not enough, they added World A, B, C, and D just to kick you square in the nuts. This infamous World 9 did return in full force in the new Super Mario Bros. On Nintendo Wii, except the only difference, it bleeds pure evil in terms of difficulty that makes Left 4 Dead 2's expert mode feel like a warm, cozy kitten by comparison.
Now,
You know, like I said, I've never beaten Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, so I don't know how to get, World 9 or A, B, C, or D. I mean, from what I've seen on videos, they're actually pretty difficult.
Yeah, they're scary. Like the beginning of World D4, for the example. What you have to do, there's a lava pit and there's nothing. You have to jump from point A to Z to do a quick U-turn into the pipe just to start the level. That's how much of it is a giant middle finger.
Oh, wow.
The only thing I have to say about the whole Mario collection, the graphics are gorgeous, the music's revamped, and it looks awesome.
There is one problem I have with it, the Super Mario All-Stars. That's the fact that, say, in one of the games, like Super Mario Brothers, I guess 2 and 3, for instance, say you go forward in the level, you kill a bunch of the enemies, and you keep going forward. Well, if you have to go back for some reason, those enemies are back there. And I don't think they were like that in the NES game. They died.
Oh, no, the respawn rate was still there.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember somebody talking about that, and I guess I'm wrong.
And then the next year, to actually release this game, a special edition cart of Super Mario All-Star was released as a pack-in for people who bought the Super Nintendo bundle. If you find this baby, I'm sure you'll never turn off the Super Nintendo. Has an orange label. It's an American exclusive release, by the way. It's called Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. It's a 5-game in one cart. The screen, even the title screen, has Yoshi in the picture.
And believe it or not, I think I actually owned this at one time and was pretty happy. I was pretty stoked about it.
Yep. And the only minor difference in Super Mario World, Luigi's sprites changed. They make it match like the other games on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Because like in the original Mario World, Mario and Luigi look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Well, in 1995, Yoshi's Island Super Mario World 2 was released on the Super Nintendo. Hands down, the most unique prequel to the video game franchise. The graphics and animation look like they were drawn by Crayola, and this time you can play as Yoshi that must protect the baby Mario. The only annoying part is if the baby Mario is knocked off and starts crying loudly.
Wah, wah, wah. It gets really old.
Bam! You just want to kill that kid. The fun fact is this game uses the Super FX2 chip that shows off some serious hardware tricks that some people thought the Super Nintendo couldn't pull off. Yet Star Fox and Stunt Race FX said, yes I can, and so can Yoshi.
Like I already demonstrated. Most of the entire game is crying, is what all the sound effects are. It's just a lot of crying, and you going, shut up, kid, while you're Yoshi. So
the only awesome part is fighting Baby Bowser. The last battle is really cool. Because, like, I forgot, he, like, tastes like a super mushroom, and he grows, like, massive, and he's, like, behind the background. All you can see is just his white eyes and flashing thunder. And it's just a great, dazzling effect for the Super Nintendo.
One of the things I can say is it's different than all the rest of the Mario games in the fact that your main character is not Mario. Your main character you're playing as is Yoshi. You play as Yoshi the entire time, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yep, that's true. And luckily this caught on, and later they had like a couple other games that are spin-offs, like Yoshi's Story on Nintendo 64 and Yoshi's Topsy-Turvy on Game Boy Advance. Moving on to 1996, the dawn of 3D gaming, Mario was not afraid to dive into it, and Miyamoto, Mario's daddy, had assembled a crack team of utter geniuses that would forever change the way we look at Mario and the way we look at video gaming. The Nintendo 64 launches September 30th, 1996, with Super Mario 64. The game still had some of the best controls of a camera angle that many games learned from. We finally got to hear Mario speak, move around, and see divine things about Princess Peach's castle, from exactly the basement to the attic, almost as honorable as seeing the White House for the very first time in your life, just like we are at the very moment.
I had an epiphany earlier today in the fact that the entire game, except for a couple of levels, takes place in the castle. But it's not Bowser's castle, it's Peach's castle. So I found that pretty cool.
Yep.
That the overworld, for instance, is a castle and not just like a map like it's been in all the rest of the games.
Can't forget about all the special caps,
Special hats, yes.
And the
Invisible Mario. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just cool.
Metal Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in a certain level when I was able to get 2 caps at once. I got the flight hat and then the metal cap both at the same time. It took a couple of tries to do it, but it's kind of funny. It looked really awesome when I did it.
Yeah, I remember that trick. That was awesome. My favorite one was a Dire Docks.
Oh yes.
Dire Docks.
That background music haunts me, and it's so peaceful, it's so relaxing. And I remember the first time when he jumped into bomb fields, like we looked around and you could hear Mario's feet like crunching against the grass.
Oh yeah.
And we all looked at each other like, wait a minute, this isn't carpet, it's grass, people. It's just weird. And then hearing him talk for the first time, that was just, wow. I don't know what the heck to think. Especially when the title screen is like, hello, it's me, Mario. And what do you do? I mean, wow.
Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. Okie dokie.
You collect all the stupid 104 1 stars. 120. Then you get that stupid flying cap outside the castle, and then get Yoshi on top of the castle. Remember that?
And all Yoshi does is give you infinite one-ups, and that's it. You can't even use them. And there was no Luigi. What the hell?
No Fire Flower either. I think that game would have been awesome if it's a Fire Flower on there.
For real. I thought the game couldn't get awesome until I played the DS version. Stay tuned for part 3 of our Super Mario Super Special.